Show me the media of a nation, and I'll show you its souls. This is phrased from Vaclav Havel. Good day, everyone. Today, me and my group mates will dive into the heart of the Middle East, not just through the headlines or hashtags, but through the culture behind the content, from the ballot boxes of Iran to the tribal drama of Al Haiba and the global echo of the social media trend hashtag Free Palestine. We explore how media reflects the values, struggles, and identity of a region, often misunderstood, yet deeply influential. Let's uncover what these stories reveals about the soul of the Middle East. Let us look to the cultural themes in the Lebanese TV series Al Haiba. This show is centered on a powerful family living near the Lebanon-Syria border, and it explores tribal leadership, loyalty, revenge, and honor values that are deeply embedded in the rural Lebanese and border Middle Eastern culture. It also showcased the clash between traditional customs and modern influences. Characters navigate the tension between upholding family values and adapting in a rapidly changing world. While male dominance is prominent, female characters are shown asserting independence, suggesting a subtle shift in gender roles. This reflects how media in the Middle East can preserve traditional while slowly introducing cultural changes. Finally, we analyze the cultural context of the global trend hashtag Free Palestine. These hashtag became a widespread during the 2021 Sheikh Jarrah eviction and Gaza conflict, representing not just a political statement but a cultural and historical struggle for identity and self-determination. It reflects generation of trauma and the cultural memory of displacement and resistance. This hashtag is used by Palestinians and supporters to reclaim their narrative in a digital space often dominated by mainstream narratives. What's powerful here is the collective Arab identity and pan Arab solidarity. The movement inspires across the Middle East and diaspora communities. This trend embodies a cultural assertion of justice, dignity, and historical.
Now let's take a closer look at how people are represented in the media content we selected from the Middle East. Starting with the news article of Iran's presidential elections, we noticed that most of the figures featured are male politicians and religious clerics. This reflects the reality of Iran's male-dominated political system. However, there's also a growing presence of youth and women in the conversation, especially those calling for reform. Their inclusion, even if limited, signals a slow but noticeable shift in the region's media toward broader representation. Next in the TV show Al Habba, representation is a bit more layered. The main characters are mostly men, often shown in positions of power within a tribal or family structure. But interestingly, the show also includes strong female roles. These women navigate a patriarchal society with resilience, intelligence, and strategy, challenging traditional gender expectations while being grounded in cultural norms. Finally, when we look at the hashtag Free Palestine social media trend, we see the most inclusive form of representation. People of all backgrounds, especially youth, women, and those in the diaspora, are actively involved through videos, art, and protest posts. They're using social media to amplify Palestinian voice, push for justice, and challenge mainstream narratives. This digital space allows for a much more democratic and diverse representation than traditional media often offers. So overall, while traditional Middle Eastern media still tends to reflect male-dominated and conservative values, we're also seeing increasing representation of marginalized voices, especially in social media spaces where people can speak freely and globally.
Good day, everyone. So, today we will present how different forms of media news, entertainment, and social platforms shape the global image of the Middle East. We will focus on the three examples: an international news article about Iran's presidential elections, the popular Lebanese TV show AI Haiba, and the viral social media trend #Free Palestine. Let's begin with a news article from AI Jazeera titled Iran's Presidential Elections and Regional Implication. This article shows how Iran's elections are not just a local concern. Why? Because Iran has a big role in the world oil markets, nuclear policy, and regional conflicts in the Middle East. So, when Iran elects a new leader, it could affect global oil prices, nuclear negotiations, and even tensions in places like Israel, Syria, and Yemen. This proves how the political events in one country can influence international diplomacy and economics. Next, we look at Lebanese drama AI Heba. This show became popular across the Arab world and even reached a global audience through Netflix. It mixes traditional themes like family, loyalty, and tribal conflict with modern cinematography and Western style storytelling. AI Haiba is an example of how the Middle East is sharing its culture and stories with the world, using high quality production that appeals both locally and globally. It helps people outside the region better understand Arab culture. Lastly, we discuss the viral hashtag Free Palestine. This social media trend became a global movement. It is supported by celebrities like Bella Hadid, The Weeknd, and Mark Ruffalo. The hashtag raises awareness about the human rights issues in Palestine and encourages global solidarity on platforms like Twitter, TikToks, and Instagram. These trends has led to real-world effects such as protests, fundraisers, and international discussions about justice and peace. In conclusion, media representation plays a huge role in shaping how the world views the Middle East, from political news, entertainment, to viral activism. These examples show that the region has a powerful global influence. So the next reporter is Maria Bel Chloe Cardoza.
Let's begin with a recent news article from Al Jazeera titled Iran's Presidential Elections and Regional Implications. For Iranian audiences, both within the country and throughout the diaspora, this type of coverage sparks deep engagement. It connects directly to questions of identity, governance, and how Iran is perceived on the world stage. Some readers view Al Jazeera's take as nuanced and balanced, while others are skeptical, pointing to the limitations of reporting from an outsider's perspective. Criticism also arises when domestic dissatisfaction with Iran's political constraints feels underrepresented. Internationally, particularly among Western readers, this article serves as a gateway into a complex political landscape. But there's a catch. Without a critical lens, such as coverage can unintentionally reinforce Orientalist or overly simplistic narratives. In East Asia, the article gains attention primarily for its implications on regional dynamics, especially concerning energy, policy, trade, and security. It's a reminder that the ripples of one's nation political choices can extend far beyond its borders. Now, shifting gears to pop culture, Al Haiba, the Lebanese TV drama, has captivated audiences across the Middle East and beyond. Arab viewers are drawn to its highly produced quality and gripping stories about honor, loyalty, and family, a mix of modern drama and traditional values. Yet not all feedback is positive. Urban and progressive audiences have voiced concerns over its portrayal of gender roles and normalization of violence. On the global stage, platforms like Netflix have introduced Al Haiba to a much broader audience. International viewers often express fascination with Arab culture, Though reactions may vary, some appreciate the emotional storytelling, while others risk misinterpretation due to limited cultural context. In East Asia, comparisons are often made with local dramas. Audiences admire its cinematic flair, but the tribal and familial themes may feel unfamiliar without deeper background knowledge. Next, we look at digital activism, especially the global reach of hashtag Free Palestine. For Palestinian communities and other allies, this hashtag is more than a trend. It's a rally crying, a symbol of resistance, a platform for storytelling. Young people in particular have turned it into a vibrant space for digital art, personal testimony, and political commentary. East Asian activists, particularly students and human rights groups in countries like South Korea, Japan, and Indonesia, have engaged with the hashtag out of historical solidarity with anti-colonial movements. Yet not all reactions are supportive, with the government and conservative factions often tread carefully around such politically charged issues. Nonetheless, the hashtag reach shows how social media and transforming global discourse, connecting voices across cultures and borders in real time. So, what does this all tell us? Middle Eastern media, whether news, drama, or activism, is deeply tied to culture, religion, and political history. Unlike in some regions where media is primarily entertainment, here it's often a reflection of lived struggle, resilience, and hope. Media doesn't just reflect cultural identity, it shapes it. It's both a mirror and a megaphone. And in today's globalized world, these stories are no longer confined to national borders. Through platforms like Netflix, Twitter, or international news outlets, Middle Eastern voices are reaching new ears and challenging old stereotypes. Yet, as audiences, we carry the responsibility to engage with this media critically and contextually. Whether you're in Tehran, Tokyo, or Toronto, understanding why behind a message is just as important as the message itself. Thanks for joining us today. If this episode sparked new thoughts or questions, share your reflections with us. Media is more than content, it's connection. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and stay connected.